Here's another question that we hear a lot. When is the right time to discuss my sexual history with my boyfriend? And this one, I would love to say that there's an absolute, date number 3, but there isn't, because it depends on, your age and how much dating experience that you have, and really what does your sexual history look like. Those are all going to be factors that are going to influence this question. And it really looks like, where's the relationship headed? I think that that's an important thing. And Ashley, like you were saying, our marriage age is getting, people are waiting to get married. They're older. And so, if you're 27 or 30 years old, it might be a conversation that you have sooner than later. Mm-hmm. Whereas if you're 20 nothing, then, you might not have that much sexual history. But it's one of those things that it's going to depend on, where you're at in the relationship, your age, but then also I think in your health. Mm-hmm. I think that plays a role, because I think that the healthier you are, the more organically the conversation is going to happen, even if it means that, okay, I'm at this stage of recovery. Yeah. Something like that.
Yeah. And it is important to definitely, as your relationship progresses and it's looking really serious, that there's a full disclosure. I mean, that includes the same kind of full disclosure we do in group. That when did your history start? How old were you when you first started doing things? You don't need to give all the details, but your spouse needs to know, because if you carry that shame into your marriage of like, oh my goodness, if my spouse ever knew. And that's what happened with John and I, is that he told me parts of his history, but not all of it. And so then 4 months into our marriage, when I found out everything, I nearly had a panic attack. I thought I married the boogeyman. I mean, because he didn't tell me everything. And even though it didn't happen in our marriage, I was like, I didn't even know that about you. What else are you hiding? And it was like staggered disclosure. So STDs, pregnancies, all of that needs to come out before marriage, but not on date 1.
Right.
Unless you're super cool like me and John. We kind of did that. But again, right? Our life, we had both been divorced already had kids. It's like, we're not wasting time. Here's 100 questions, answer them.
Yes. But not interrogation style.
Right. But maybe it can even be a progression, like after a couple months, you're starting to get serious. You can say, okay, I really do need to share that I'm not a virgin anymore, but those are my intentions going forward. Yeah. Or that I've struggled with some things in the past. And then, maybe as the relationship progresses, you get a little bit more detailed. And it might just happen organically in a conversation. And if you're secure and you've already talked to other people, like healthy people or been through group, it's going to come out more organically.
Yep, definitely. Well, and especially because if you're in group and you've kind of dealt with some of these things, then you still don't have that shame holding you captive, basically, from being vulnerable with this new relationship.
Yeah, for sure. Such a danger to go into a marriage and feel like you need to hold pieces back.
Yeah.
Because the longer you are in it, the harder it is to go back and be honest about it.
Yeah.